business run.
Welcome back to Inside Politics. I'm Pat Nolan. Our guest today is John J. Hooker, Tennessee political legend and the person leading the Death with Dignity effort in Tennessee, which also has its roots across the country. John J., there's been a Death with Dignity law that's just been signed into law in California by Governor Brown. Now, Tennessee and California are not by any means the same state, but having a state like California sign this, does this help you think, with your efforts in Tennessee?
You know, I've gotten a lot of credit from a lot of people about getting involved in this. You'd be astonished at how many people come up to me on the street and say, thank you very much. And the truth is, I'm a late comer. I'm in the caboose, not the engine. This has been going on since Socrates, you know, in the hemlock. And in recent times, been going on, you know, many years. And we have an organization in Oregon called Choices. What's the first word? Begins with a C. Something Choices, and that's where the girl went from Brittany, from California to Oregon, because California didn't have a law that permitted it, and she went at the end of the Oregon law and got these pills, and died in the presence of her family in a peaceful way, and she put a good face on this. Then I think she and her husband are largely responsible for the California turnaround. They were on the other side of this, and then she died, and the California situation developed. How
is the California law the same or different than what you'd like to see passed in Tennessee?
The truth about it is that I've got two great lawyers in this. One named Hal Harden, you know Hal Harden, and a young woman by the name of Cindy Chappell. And we're working in conjunction with the Choices people from Oregon and others around the country. We are a part of a network that so forth. The California law and the Oregon law provides certain things that the doctor can do and he can't do, and you have to have two doctors and etc. Our concept is very similar to theirs. Not exactly the same, but very similar to theirs. The reason I wanted to bring this lawsuit to Tennessee is that we have the strongest constitution in the United States in support of personal rights and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which is talked about in the federal constitution. But in Tennessee, the first line, this is a you know, they call it a blue book. This one happens to be yellow.
It's orange, actually. For obvious reasons.
And it's in the audience. This is a Tennessee blue book. And if you go to your legislator, he'll give you one of these for free, and you can read about the state and the Constitution. And anybody who's listened to this, take advantage of that. Read the Constitution. It's a very important thing to do. And the first line of the Tennessee Constitution says, all power, that's pretty hard to misunderstand, all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority, instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. Well, it's my thesis is, if the government if all power is in you and me and the people, and instituted for our peace, safety, and happiness, then the government of Tennessee's got no right to tell me that if I'm laying in my bed, a prisoner of pain, that I've got to be a slave.
Now, we just had a ruling in your lawsuit here in Nashville by the Chancery Judge, and her ruling was that you didn't have standing in it. Now, I think for most people, average person on the street, if you're terminally ill and you don't even have standing to bring a lawsuit, who would have standing to bring a lawsuit?
I think you're right. I think you're right. Judge McCoy.
Are you going to appeal this decision?
Sure. Judge McCoy, I supported her when she first ran for judge, and Judge McCoy is a delightful person, a good judge. But she's, if you're listening, Judge, respectfully, you were wrong about this. Of course, I've got standing. If I don't have standing, or a person who's got a death sentence doesn't have standing, who does?
Well, it seems to me from reading her decision that to have standing, you have to it'd have to be brought by your estate, because then you would have been wronged. Obviously, you're dead at that point. Or you have to have a doctor come in and actually say they're going to kill you, which I think creates ethics issues for them, does it not?
Yeah, you got it. But I think that's an error. In other words, I think that anybody who's got the situation I've got has got standing, and so I don't think I have standing, but I think all the other people who've got the same problem, hundreds of thousands of people in Tennessee got this same problem in one form or another, and so we're going to appeal this to the Supreme Court forthwith. As I say, I've got two great lawyers, and we'll see. I just think Judge McCoy is wrong about it. I think we do have standing, and we're going to fight on.
By the way, I'm told the group that you mentioned from Oregon that you were talking about before is Compassionate Choices.
I couldn't think of the word compassion to save my life.
What that was. I was not aware of it. It was told by the producers here. You have a bill pending in the Tennessee legislature to allow death with dignity.
Yes.
How does that stand right now as the legislature comes back in session in January?
And summer study, and Rusty Crowe is the chairman of that committee. I talked to Senator Reginald Tate, who introduced it for me yesterday, and we're fighting on. And we've sent them a copy of the California law. And if you hadn't seen it, get it. Governor Brown wrote a very short but succinct approval of the law, signed it as governor, and said, look, I don't know if when the moment comes for me whether I'll do this or not, whether I'll take my own life through this medicine, even if it's available. But I know the other people are entitled to do it if they want to do it. And so he signed the law. And so I think that gives it some real momentum, you know.
Are you going to take a copy of that letter and send it to Governor Haslam on the chance or the hope I think you have that it winds up on his desk someday to have to sign the same bill?
You just read my mind. I'm going to write him a letter and send him a copy of it. You know, he's the governor, and I never was. But we both tried, and one of the things we did was to read the language that says he shall take care that the laws are faithfully executed. That is the fundamental responsibility of the governor. He shall take care that the laws are faithfully executed. I want Governor Haslam to come to grips with the proposition that this law that we have on the books violates the Constitution. And that's just our old Hooker's opinion. That's the opinion of a lot of people, including the grand jury. I went down before the grand jury and told them what the problem was, and they overwhelmingly supported my position.
Okay, let's take a break. We'll come back and talk about that grand jury report. John J. Hooker is our guest on Inside Politics. We're talking about the Death with Dignity effort with this Tennessee political hero and legend. Back to continue our conversation with John J. after this break.